Okay, hi everyone.
Hi everybody, I'm going to sprinkle some Florida water to help clarify the air and the vibration. I'm also going to hit the love tone.
That felt good.
That's some Florida water.
Not even.
Yeah. Okay, that was a lot. So this is, hi, I'm Dr. Amanda Kemp, and I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Makeda. Good to be with everybody again.
Yep. And so this is Get Your Chocolate On.
Yes, that is the name.
We're finally back.
Okay.
It's a lot has happened since our last episode,
Oh my gosh.
Makeda.
So much has gone down. We've just sort of been avoiding the internet and social media because things have been rowdy, things have been wild.
Yes, things have been rowdy
And
wild.
I think everyone's been kind of scared, angry. So it's way better. We just need to work through those emotions outside of the camera before we came back and discussed it.
Yes, and I think it's important to, hey Mary, I think it's important to bring experience, strength, and hope.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need us to bring brokenness without some groundedness.
Yeah.
And as you know, we want to be grounded, you know, and when we're not grounded, the important thing is to get grounded again, right? So here, this episode is called Protests and Beyond, and that's because, in my opinion, we need protests, and we need to think beyond the protests.
Absolutely.
For what do we want, and what are the seeds that we're planting when the ashes, when we're,
exactly.
you know, when the burning,
when there's nothing left,
when the burning is done. And Makeda, I wonder if you could share with everybody, because Makeda is, as people who, I don't know if you've picked up that she's like the Aquarian between us. I'm very earth signs. She's very Aquarian. So anyway, and she knows a lot more about astrology than I do. But I wanted to know, did you want to share anything about, you were telling me about what kind of energy anger is, and you were talking about it being doing energy, and
well, are you talking about it? You want me to put astrology into the mix here?
or you could talk about energy, if you have an energy reading or your interpretation of what things are right now.
Oh, I think things are messy right now. I think we have a few motivations right now, and to some point they're all similar to an extent. We have one similar goal, but then what happens beyond that goal is different.
Gotcha.
So,
you mean the similar goal being what?
to sort of dismantle the system, I would say.
Yeah.
To stop the immediate hurt that's going on.
Yes.
And the first step to that would be, in some form, dismantling the police system and taking away the power that the police have. And for some people, that's stop police brutality. For some people, that's Black Lives Matter, because it seems like Black people are disproportionately affected by police brutality.
Well, we are.
Yeah, sorry, not it seems, but I mean, in terms of statistics, it would seem that way.
We are.
But in terms, you see, police brutality, it encircles all peoples as well,
Yeah.
I would argue.
Yeah, and so when you're saying that we all want to dismantle, like, the current system, we know, many of us know the current system doesn't work. Doesn't work fairly, doesn't work well. It actually doesn't create more safety.
The system works exactly how it's supposed to work.
Well, there you go.
So that's the biggest problem.
Okay, so
the system works perfectly.
Here's a resource I want to, encourage you to check out. It's called MPD 150, and it stands for Minneapolis Police Department 150. And this community-based group did this whole research and report on policing and alternatives to policing as we currently think about it in their city, and they released this report like 2 years ago. So they were ahead of this when they were saying that there's a problem here, and as you said, Makeda, the system is working as it was intended to work by somebody. Okay, so check it out, MPD 150. And but when I was thinking about the energy, I was thinking about how astrologically, I was listening to a report from one of my teachers, and she was saying that, Mars is like in a very prominent position right now, and so there's a lot of anger energy, a lot of conflict energy, fighting energy.
A lot of exposure energy as well.
Okay, and so, but Venus went into retrograde, and Venus is, of course, a planet of love, compassion, and when it's in retrograde, it's not as present. So what I want to suggest is that, and I don't know how you feel about this, Makeda, because it's so interesting, because I'm the extrovert and
I'm an introvert.
but in this situation, we've kind of reversed roles.
Potato, you know.
And so I'm like, I need to go within, and Makeda is like, I don't want to quote you, but she's very outward focusing right now, and with tearing down the systems.
Yeah.
And so what I want to suggest, though, is that those of us, to me, who, because Makeda, you said to me the other day, you said you have building energy.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. And so do I. And
when I say building, I don't mean like it's building up, that too, but I mean like I'm not a destructive person.
Yeah.
I'm the person that comes in after and builds up.
Yes.
So yeah, continue.
Yes, thank you. So and so do I. Although maybe I'm more of a planter. I feel like that maybe is a verb to describe me. And anyway, so in the midst of all this tear it down energy, those of us who have access to our hearts, let me put it this way, I think we need to double down on our hearts.
Yeah. Someone mentioned earlier that they're an empath, they're a Cancer. I think your name was Faith.
Okay.
That is the time. But don't fill your heart by like watching these videos of people being violent,
Right.
or people dying. That is like, it's one of, I feel like, the worst ways to work with your heart.
Yeah.
'Cause you can feel their pain, and maybe that will bring up some anger and some movement, but focus more on the love that you want to receive at the end of the goal, not the cause, I guess.
Yeah. Ooh, she's interesting. Yeah, focus on where you're going. Because when I talk about the heart, and Makeda, what she was saying was like, don't go back and rewatch all those videos and kind of overwhelm yourself on social media, because especially if you're a person of color, you can be re-traumatizing yourself. And actually, you're not doing anybody a favor by re-traumatizing yourself. So please do not think that by traumatizing or re-traumatizing yourself, you have to do it, because if you don't,
You need to maintain that
Right.
momentum.
Right, you need to maintain that suffering.
Yeah, exactly. And because the suffering is what pushes you through.
But suffering, be careful.
Yeah.
Because this has to do with anger energy too. Suffering, anger energy, guilt energy, they will only carry you so far.
And I feel like it all at the base energy is almost hopelessness.
Yes.
For all of those emotions.
Yes.
And hopelessness is one of the worst. That's a cycle. And I feel like
Yes.
we've talked about the cycle of hopelessness before.
Yeah, yeah. We haven't mentioned Beyonc yet.
Where
Every
is
episode.
Beyonc? Actually.
Oh, Makeda, you said it. Where is
I
she?
said
maybe
it.
Maybe she.
I feel like she's definitely working behind the scenes in all this. I know like Kanye West hasn't said anything.
I'm
but
glad.
He had donated $2 million to the cause and set up a college account for Floyd's daughter, which is...
Okay, good. But
He doesn't need to be speaking.
No.
We don't need to...
no. We don't need his voice.
Well,
in
not...
this.
You brought up Beyonce. You weren't supposed to...
Okay, I'm sorry.
bring it up.
I was making a joke, but I brought up Beyonce. But Makeda, I just want to say something. To me, if you are searching for what to say or to do, keep searching. Don't just be coming out saying any piece of thing comes to your mind. I don't think that's responsible. When you have a huge platform like Beyonce, I want you to be thoughtful.
Really thoughtful about what you say. And I understand she
And you
can't
give your money
ask-
right away, but be thoughtful about what you said.
Yeah, exactly. Because it goes quick. Oh, they said the video stopped.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Can you guys see us now?
I don't know. So more. Oh yeah. So what I was saying,
more.
what I wanted to say about the protests and beyond is, so what Makeda said to me like early on, she said, "Mommy, anger is doing energy," and I respect that, because we do need to do.
Yeah.
And but we don't need to traumatize or re-traumatize ourselves to have the energy to do.
Yeah.
I want you, instead of bathing yourself in social media and in images of people's pain and heartbreak, instead of bathing yourself in that, I actually want you to bathe yourself into some green. I want you to go and see some trees, some grass, some flowers, look up at the sky.
Nature doesn't discriminate, and there's something really nice about that.
And
I gotta say.
there is. And there's something very powerful about you choosing where to put your focus. You can't be love. You can't hold the ground of love if you're not filling in and creating love, right?
Yeah,
and,
very, very true.
And we have to generate
I see what you're
it.
saying.
We have to generate
The
it.
people that feel from the heart, we are the batteries of love right now.
Do you hear what we're saying? The people that feel from the heart, we are the batteries right now. We have a lane.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And we need to stay in that lane.
Okay, period. My mom and I, we both went to some of the protests, and we both agreed it didn't feel right. Something was not sitting right about it at all. And when we realized that's not our lane, that's not what we do. We're the talkers, the discussers, the mediators. I think all of those things.
Yeah, and we're the holders.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the place I'm standing in is in the place of compassion and justice. And, you know, every protest has its own flavor and feel wherever you are, depending on who's leading it, who's there, why they're there. But I'll tell you something. At a protest, what you can see are a lot of traumatized people.
Amen.
Who are not self-regulating. Okay? Which means that they're in a vulnerable space. And unfortunately, sometimes there can be a lack of wisdom, you know? And sometimes it's about age because it's a lack of experience. Mm-hmm. So there isn't wisdom to say, you need to stay home today. Yeah. You need to take a bath. You need to connect to your ancestors.
And I feel like we talked about the danger of a mob mentality before. Automatically, being in a larger crowd, it makes it harder for everyone to stay as grounded as they were when they came into it. It's just, you can't pass around your vibe. I hate to use that word, but you can't pass it around as much as it's too many people. And things that spread quicker through crowds are anger, grief, sadness.
Yes. And I agree with you, Makeda. When I went to the vigil I went to, I tried to get myself grounded and ready, but the grief hit me hard. And so by the time I got there, I was a little bit shaky. And then as I stayed, I got my feet more on the ground. But then the energy shifted in the crowd, as she's saying, and I knew when it was time for me to go. Because if I can't hold my ground, then I can't be I'm not contributing. And I definitely do not want to be, I don't want to be the tool of something else. So I don't know if you're picking up what we're putting down.
Spread love is
you know, Claire Cohen is watching. I don't think
many protests are
well organized. Well, you know, some things are spontaneous, some things are very well organized, like organized disruption of what was supposed to be a peaceful protest. You know?
Yeah, so, that's well organized, sure.
I mean it's not just a question of it's organized, it's a question of where is it coming from, to me. So this is where, you know, because I'm in racial justice from the heart. So to me, where you have to come from is here. But that's my lane. Mm-hmm. You know? So I'm not criticizing anybody for where they're coming from, because as Makeda said, anger is doing energy. And we wouldn't be having the conversation we're having right now if we did not have public uprising.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
So
that's the best way to get the attention. And then it's what do you do with it? What's
right.
next?
How do you sustain it?
Yep.
And that's where we have to take really good care of ourselves.
Right.
So there's a couple things I want to say to you as ways to follow up today. So number one, I recommend that if you are a person of European descent, that you double down on investigating and transforming your hidden racial bias, and that you get good at talking about that with other people of European descent. You want to know what to do? Double down on checking out and checking your racial bias, and getting good at working with other people of European descent about it.
Mm-hmm. And if protesting isn't your lane, there's a lot of other ways. As I'm sure you've heard, there's a ton of petitions out there you can sign. But I've actually been meaning to do some research on petitions, because there's so many petitions that I'm wondering, what do they do?
Yeah, what is the impact
Is there
of them?
enough? Yeah, and is it only like when you get into the millions that actual like law officials in politics start doubling down on that? I don't know yet.
something to investigate.
Yeah, that's something I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Petitions.
Yes. So I'm not saying you shouldn't take external action, but as McKade is saying, and then if you're a person of color, I really think you need to watch how you are taking care of yourself and how you are acting out your values, and where you choose to put your action. And there's something that we're going to be launching in Racial Justice from the Heart, a Women of Color Self-Love and Transformation Boot Camp, because I think we have patterns that are not really great for us that we need to alter, you know. But so those are two suggestions that we have. And Makeda, is there anything you want to say before we end?
I want to apologize for Jake's panting at the end.
This is Get Your Chocolate On, so we usually have 2 chocolate labs, one of whom just came into the room.
Yeah, so that's why he's doing that. But in terms of, I don't know, like I kind of just wanted to say, I wanted to just like take a moment and process, because sometimes I just forget the like weight of the stuff we're talking about, and I just need to like sort of relive it for a second. So I'm gonna do that for just a quick second.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. I don't know. We're really at a crossroads right now, I feel like, and I'm trying to think about what's different from these situations, from this particular uprising compared to other uprisings, because I'm trying to think about what's gonna change. I don't know. That was just an open-ended thought that I'm having. I'm lost. I don't know what it's gonna be. I don't know what the November election is gonna look like. What things are gonna look like after that.
Well, we don't have to know.
No, I just want to.
Oh, okay. Because we can only take it moment by moment, right?
Yeah.
And but I guess the desire to know comes from a desire to make the right choices in the meantime, or
exactly. I sort of that I want to prepare myself properly. Yeah, but I think you're right. I don't know what to do now. Like I was talking to my mom, is this the time to have conversations with outwardly racist groups? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm still not sure about that.
Right. Yeah. But this is the time to have conversations, other European Americans talking to each other about racism, and also, you know, I just feel like really doing your work. Honestly, I really do.
Well,
and I think if you go to a protest and you don't do your work before you go, you don't do your work as you do the outward protest, you could just be doing harm all along. And I've seen...
And by work, you mean heart work?
I mean your internalized racism work.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I guess my last thing to bring up on a happier note is, have you seen how many protests internationally have been going on for American black people?
I've just been hearing. Tell us about it.
It's really nice. They're doing it in Germany. They're doing it in Portugal. I really can't name them all off.
I heard New Zealand.
No, but I always see some new place, and it's a big turnout too. I mean, and it's really touching that other places care that much. And it's also just like, so every place is willing to step up but America, or at least the American government, to do some more about it. So
yeah.
But that's positive. I like that people are watching in other countries. They know what's going on and they care. And I feel like almost Americans don't do that enough for other countries when they're going through stuff.
Yeah.
But
it does feel good.
It does feel good. It feels nice. So there's, also like the amount of non-black people that have just been protesting in America has blown, I think, everybody away. I don't think we expected that at all. So if you're an ally and you were protesting or you're making your voice heard, thank you so much. I think every single non-black person's voice counts so much in this. Because black people have been doing this for forever, so now it's almost like the baseline. Now who's jumping on top, you know?
Who's adding their voice to us?
Who's making it louder? Because we're shouting now. It's as loud as it's ever been. So,
well, thank you. So thank you all for being with us. Those are some of our thoughts. We're with you. We're you know, we're holding it down. I want to encourage you to connect with your ancestors. I'm going to be sending something out to my email list, like a way to do that, because that's also going to encourage us to realize, you know, we have spiritual resources. It's not just us. You know, we're big, we're good, it's going to happen. And I love that t-shirt I saw. It says, I've seen the end and we win. So just remember that.
That's so nice. I like that too.
All right, you all. Peace to you all.
Peace and love.
Stay
Hopefully
with us.
We film another one soon.
Yes. Bye now.
Bye, guys.